Only when you claim the birth certificate do they then, aha, you're claiming it, good, we'll accept your claim. When you reach the age of 16 and you go to the driver license office and you take your birth certificate there and you tell the clerk there working for the government, this is my birth certificate, they say, goody, 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 we got another sucker. Why did you do that? The government cannot tie you to any particular birth certificate. Even after you've done it, they still can't. It's all based on fraud in the inducement. You can easily, quite properly, later say, I would put it this way, if it was me, I would say, if I ever did claim that a certain birth certificate pertained to me, it was done out of ignorance, and it was in error. There isn't any possible way that I could have ever known that a certain birth certificate had anything at all to do with me. I was conned into that. I was lied to as a child. Human children don't have any frame of reference. Human children can't really figure anything out because they don't have any frame of reference. It's like stick your finger the first time. So you're 2 or 3 years old, and you're playing with the lamp plug into the wall outlet. And you get your fingers in between the two prongs of the plug, and it knocks you for a loop. See, why did you do that? You're 2 or 3 years old. Why did you do that? Because you were 2 or 3 years old, and you found something to play with. And you're playing with that lamp thing plugged into the wall, and you're wiggling it, and it comes out, and you see that it came out, and the 2 or 3-year-old child isn't totally stupid. They don't have a frame of reference. And they look at that thing, and they see how that it came out of them little holes in the wall, and they put it back in there. They don't have any idea what they're touching, and they get their fingers touching those 2 little metal prongs, and they get knocked for a loop by the electricity. How quickly do you think that child will be going over there and doing that again? The child now has a frame of reference regarding electricity, at least with wall plugs. That child will not be doing that again, ever. You only need to do that once, and you have an immediate frame of reference. Children don't have a frame of reference that they're born with regarding anything at all. No frame of reference regarding anything at all. As children, we are susceptible to any lie and every lie that we are told by any adult that comes along and tells us any lie, every lie. We will accept it as being true. As small children, we are told that Santa Claus flies through the air in a sleigh pulled by a red-nosed reindeer and wiggles down the chimney and puts presents around the Christmas tree. We're told that the Tooth Fairy puts a coin under our pillow for our baby teeth, and we're told that the Easter Bunny lays colored eggs and hides them in the grass. And we believe all of that stuff. We believe it. We don't know that it's lies. Oh, they're just cute fairy stories. No, they're not. They are very, very dangerous lies. They cause all kinds of problems for us later in life. Think about it. Why do you suppose we have all this rebellion of teenagers? Teenagers don't trust their parents. Teenagers were lied to about the Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and Santa Claus, and then they found out it was lies, and who told them those lies? Their parents. And then their parents try to teach them other things as they're getting close to adulthood, and these teenagers don't want to hear any of it because they don't trust their parents, because their parents have lied to them all their life about some very, very, very important things to them. Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, and the Easter Bunny are very, very important to children because they've been lied to about it. And who taught it? Their parents lied to them. Think about it. Stop lying to your children about fairy stories. Tell them it's a fairy story. It's not real. Tell them Santa Claus is just a man dressed up in a suit It might be your grandfather or your own father. It could be anybody. There's nothing special about it. It doesn't fly through the air in a sleigh pulled by a red-nosed reindeer, and doesn't come down the chimney and put presents around the tree. It's just this folk story. And the Easter Bunny doesn't lay colored eggs and hide them in the grass, and the Tooth Fairy doesn't put a coin under your pillow. It's nothing but a fairy story. Don't believe it. Teach your children the truth. Then they might possibly trust you later in life and take your word for it when you try to impart real wisdom on them. But you set yourself up very, very poorly by telling them lies about Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, and Santa Claus. And the same thing goes about the founding fathers and how wonderful they were and how wonderful Abraham Lincoln was. The greatest president we ever had, perhaps possibly the only one who would exceed the greatness of Abraham Lincoln would be George Washington. I don't have much use for either one. George Washington did a marvelous job leading the rebels against the Redcoats. But he was an aristocrat. And if it wasn't for Thomas Paine, George Washington would have been the first king here on this land. Get it straight. If we don't get it straight, we're going to be continued to be screwed up with all this taxation and this crap that's going on right now, with this absolute stupidity of, money bomb the nation. So, I think that was the only two items, let me see, about last night's chat that I wanted to comment on. Particularly the word people is defined in the preamble for George 12:15. See if there was anything else quickly as I scanned through there. I think that was it. Talked about this other stuff on there last night. The rest of it.